Welcome to the Relationship Corner, brought to you by Dr. Ted and Dr. Gwen Mooko. Doctors Ted and Gwen have been pastors for over 30 years. Their God-given passion is the ministry of couples. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with their latest uploads. Enjoy!
Welcome once again, viewers, to our podcast number 6, right? On Thought Battle Bliss. This is Ted and Gwen's Relationship Corner. Yes. Honey, you remember last time we were talking about the five languages of love.
That's right.
Do you know my languages of love, sweetheart?
Oh, yes, I do. Yours is touch and words of affirmation.
Touch and words of affirmation.
So the idea is to know your spouse love language so that you love them in the language that they accept and the language that works for them,
yeah.
the language that they understand. And
Let me think about yours. Of course, I know your love language. Number 1, quality time.
that's right.
Number 2, gifts.
May I elaborate on quality time? That means no phone, no gadget, just quality time, me and him, no phones, no kids, just the two of us.
Me and you, babe. Picnic,
That's right.
maybe a movie, maybe something, but just the two of us.
Yeah.
That's a love language.
Having you to myself, that's
Monopolizing me. Fine. No worries. Me and you, babe. All right. So today we're going to talk about the 5 languages of apology, also from Dr. Gary Chapman. Dr. Gary Chapman, did this research and came to understand that, in any relationship, of course, we always make mistakes, we hurt each other, but what is important is that we apologize, we acknowledge our mistakes, we apologize, and we move on. However, there are some problems or challenges. Number 1, there are people who cannot even apologize. They can't say sorry. That's point number 1. Point number 2, there are those who can say sorry, but the people who have been hurt are not able to accept the apology because the apology has not been said to them in a manner that they like, that they feel that it is acceptable to them. So that's what we're going to talk about, folks, today. So we will be exchanging on describing these 5 languages of apology. What is our key scripture? Our key scripture is Proverbs 24, verse 3 and 4. What does it say, sweetheart?
through knowledge a house is built, and by understanding it is established. So it's important to build your home. You need knowledge,
Wisdom and knowledge.
understanding.
Yes.
Wisdom.
By wisdom a house is built. So we are talking about wisdom. In other words, we can love each other to the moon and back. But if we do not have the wisdom to live together, there will be problems. So let's talk about 5 languages of apology. What does this mean? As you said earlier on, you have hurt me. I would need you to apologize so that we move on. But you are supposed to apologize to me in a way that makes me to accept that surely this was a real and genuine apology. So the first one is called expressing regret. There are people with this language of apology, expressing regret. What it means is that the person who has been hurt, when they have this language, means that they want you to know, do you understand how deeply your behavior has hurt me? You need to say that you are sorry, that you regret that you did what you did. You are specifically sorry for this particular issue. Not to kind of say a sorry that is generalized,
That's right.
but to say sorry, I am sorry and I regret that I hurt you by what I've done.
So I think the key word there is the person has to show some regret and remorse.
Exactly. Regret and remorse.
I'll jump on to genuinely expressing the desire to change behavior. So for some people, when you say you are sorry, when you apologize, you have to then take it a step further and genuinely express the desire to change your behavior. So they will be watching the behavior that follows after you have apologized to show that you have changed.
In other words, they're saying, okay, you are sorry, but I don't expect you to hurt me in the same area again. So give me some assurance that you're going to change.
Yeah, so the behavior, so they are more focusing on the behavior. Yes, they've accepted the words of apology, but there has to be corresponding behavior that shows that one is really changed. You are really sorry.
In other words, you're talking about, well, let's say somebody has been getting home late when dinner is cold, and madam doesn't like it for you to get home when dinner is cold. You've been delaying because you've been missing that bus by 2 minutes. In other words, you're then saying, madam, what I'm going to do is I'm going to endeavor to leave the office at least 5 minutes sooner, right. 5 minutes earlier, so that I don't miss this bus to get home. I'm going to do something about it. I'm going to behave. I'm going to change. Right. So that was number two. So number three will be accepting responsibility. Accepting responsibility. If the person you apologize to has this apology language, they want you to accept responsibility for what you did or said and acknowledge that it is wrong. In other words, they want you to realize that they are not just grieving for the sake of grieving. They are grieving because it is your fault. It is your responsibility. Accept your fault that you did make a mess. And therefore, you're saying, okay, whatever tension is between the two of us, it's my fault. I did it. I am sorry. Accepting responsibility.
Would you say that's apology? It's when somebody is not expecting you to blame someone else or to make excuses. They want you to take responsibility for...
Yeah, no passing of the buck or no excuse. You know how sometimes say, sorry, but...
I think once you put a but in front of the sorry, it kind of nullifies the sorry. But
exactly.
Yes, so take responsibility for what is transpired, and yeah, that's a big one.
The next one is making restitution. Would you want to tackle that one? To make restitution.
Yeah, so if someone has this apology language, what they really want to know is, do you still love me? Your behavior seemed to be so unloving to them that they wonder how you could love them and do what you did. So they want reassurance that, do you still love me?
And they want you to restitute. It means that they want you to do something about what you've done.
Exactly. So so there has to be corresponding action as well. That's the restitution, to show that you love me, even though what you've done is really hurt me. Your behavior really hurt me, but do something to show me that you love me. That's their love apology language.
There's this one. The last one is a funny one, but I think it's common to some people. Number 5, requesting forgiveness. In other words, the person has been wronged, seems not able to move on unless the culprit, so to speak, the erring person has actually asked to be forgiven. In other words, the person who's been hurt is not able to go on unless the person who's hurt them is able to say, sweetheart, will you forgive me? Please forgive me. May you please forgive me. So others in this group feel that if somebody asks me for forgiveness, they are acknowledging that they need the forgiveness because they know they've erred, they know they've wronged me, and therefore they're now asking me to forgive them. So to some people, this might sound petty, but that's how some people function. And if you are married to a partner who has got this love language, this language of apology, then you have to do it. There's nothing you can do.
That's right. So it's important to know your better half, what is their language of apology, because you could be over here doing all these things and yet your spouse still feels that, well, he never really or she never really apologized to me. And I've heard that so many times. And the other one is thinking, but I apologized.
Yeah.
It's because you did not use the right apology language. So
the other one accepts,
that the other one accepts. So,
but sweetie, there's also the issue of even the apology itself. There are a lot of people who do not know how to apologize. They don't even apologize. Apology is not in their vocabulary. They will try to make amends. They will ask, would you want a cup of coffee? And would you want, should I go and buy you this thing or whatever? Instead of just saying, baby, I am sorry. I wronged you. There are people, I don't know whether that is pride. Could you say it is pride that caused somebody to fail to say, I am sorry?
Yeah, it takes a lot of humility to accept that you are wrong and to say those words, babe, I'm sorry, I've wronged you, and, not put a bat in front of it.
You remember, which reminds me, how when you're doing retreats, how people normally ask, who is supposed to apologize first?
Yeah, I was going to come to that. That's always a question that you get when we talk of forgiving one another and apologizing. So the question always goes, so who's supposed to say sorry
first? And our answer is?
The mature one.
The more mature one. So if you are always the last one to say sorry, it means that you do have some immaturity in the relationship. Because, by the way, apology does not always mean that you are wrong. But it's a starting point to repair. It's about repairing. So, thank you very much, listeners. This is episode number 6, right? So, see you again in episode number 7, Toward Marital Bliss on Ted and Gwen Relationship Corner. God bless you.
Thank you.
Thank you for listening to Relationships Corner, brought to you by Dr. Ted and Dr. Gwen Mooko. Please subscribe to our channel to keep up to date with our latest uploads. Until our next episode, keep the fire burning and the love flowing.